Hey guys, this is Shataju aka Togzi, and today we learn about the Arab-Israeli conflict, its origins, the aftermath, and the current situation. So grab a warm seat and some popcorn. So this is pretty much how the modern state of Israel looks like. It stretches from Lebanon in the north and it has Jordan to its east and it has Syria. So it all started when Israel got its independence in 1948 after the Arab-Israeli War. Israel, though the independence was not a really peaceful one, Israel is surrounded by hostile nations on all of its borders. Since its independence, it has faced numerous threats and terrorist attacks. Tensions began building up for a long time, but Israel decided to deploy its army way beyond its border with the help of the USA, and this gave rise to the Six-Day War. But due to Israel's sheer power of its air force, Israel won the Six-Day War and won over huge territory in the Sinai Desert and the Golan Heights, and also captured most of Palestine. So this was a breakthrough for Israel, and this war expanded the nation into so guys, as you can see on the screen right now, this area is the Golan Heights belonging to Syria, and this area is known as the Sinai Desert belonging to Egypt, and that is the Suez Canal, as you can see out there.
The Six-Day Middle East War echoes along a second front, the diplomatic struggle at the United Nations Security Council. A series of emotionally charged meetings keeps delegates debating on nearly around-the-clock basis. Syrian Ambassador George Tomei charges Israel with continued ceasefire violations, saying that Israeli tank forces advanced toward a branch of the Jordan River to establish control of a strategically important water resource. He calls it systematic invasion. Soviet delegate Nikolai Fedorenko heaps abuse and lashing invective on both Israel and the United States. In a blistering filibuster, Russia breaks diplomatic relations with Israel and threatens sanctions. Israeli Ambassador Gideon Raphael answers the truce violation charges, saying that his nation's troop and tank movements occurred before the ceasefire went into effect. Israeli government officers announce their victory wipes out previous armistice agreements and frontiers. And that victory...
So guys, this is what happened after the Six-Day War. Basically, it was a game of accusing each other, in my opinion, and it all started when Israel started doing airstrikes on Egyptian airfields near the Sinai Desert border. In this war, Israel claimed a lot of territory. It claimed the whole of the Sinai Desert and the Golan Heights, and also captured a lot of the Gaza Strip. So this is basically what happened during the Six-Day War. In the 1973 Yom Kippur War, Egypt and Syria teamed up to take over the Sinai Desert and the Golan Heights, which Israel had taken over during the Six-Day War. It was decided that Egypt would lead the invasion into the Sinai Desert and Syria would invade the Golan Heights on the national holiday of Yom Kippur in Israel. This time it was a different story. Egypt and Syria both were very well prepared to face Israel's air force. Before the war began, Egyptian troops on the other side of the Suez Canal acted very normally. The troops would go swimming in the canal, giving Israel absolutely no clue that they were on the brink of war. The surprise factor played a valuable role in the war. Egypt successfully pummeled through the defenses and advanced into the desert. Israel seemed helpless, but its dearest ally, the USA, decided to supply them with weapons, vehicles and armor to fight off the Arabian forces. It worked out phenomenally well. Israel won the war but decided to cede its territories. This led to the building up of friendship between Israel and Egypt, but its relations with Syria are a little more complicated and they worsened with time. Hey, I hope you guys are enjoying till now. So we got to know about the Six-Day War, the Yom Kippur War, the Arab-Israeli War, and the origins of Israel. Now it's time to look at the more modern side. We're going to know about the Lebanese Civil War, how Israel and Syria fought for control over Lebanon, some facts about Palestine, and also the modern day situation. So have fun and enjoy watching. 1975 marked the beginning of the Lebanese Civil War and also the opportunity for neighboring nations to increase their influence. In 1978, Syria invaded Lebanon and Israel understood the risks of having a Syrian-controlled Lebanon, also joined the war. Israel successfully pushed Syrian military back into their borders and had control of Lebanon for a handful of time. Hezbollah, a terrorist organization and strangely also a political party, were born during this era. The threat of Hezbollah forced Israel to cede its territories, and also the increased international pressure forced them to do so, and have since met rocket fire and retribution from the Lebanese border, and also an increased risk of Hezbollah. Hezbollah also receives an annual investment from Saudi Arabia and Qatar. The Saudis have stated that it is for helping Lebanon stabilize its political situation, but it could be more than that. The history of Israel and Palestine is a little complicated. When the Jewish state of Israel was on the brink of being independent, the UN and Britain divided the area into two groups of Muslims and Jews equally. The Jews developed a great economy and a strong military, but the Muslims failed to do so, and as a result, Palestine and Israel had a war, and all the Arab nations joined the war to eradicate the state of Israel altogether, but Israel won and won over 73% area of Palestine. In the upcoming years, Israel built a wall and also migrated thousands of Palestinians from Palestine to Israel and violated a lot of human rights. Due to international pressure, Israel has restored many universities in Palestine, making living conditions better, but due to tensions, many anti-Israeli Palestinian groups like Hamas were formed, and rocket fire from Palestine into Israel is nothing new. When one of the leaders of Hamas, Yahya Ayash, was assassinated in 1996 by Israeli special forces, things heated up and terrorist activity bloomed in the area. Israel took some serious action and invaded the Gaza Strip in 2014. Thousands of airstrikes and the merciless killing of Palestinians led to protests all around the world and the formation of anti-Israeli propaganda. Till date, there has been no peaceful settlement between the two. So now, to conclude it all, Israel became independent in 1947 and Palestine was formed in the same year. The next year began the Arab-Israeli War. Israel won and got control over 73% of modern-day Palestine. Then began the Six-Day War, when Israel won again and took control of the Golan Heights and the Sinai Desert. In 1973, the Yom Kippur War broke out, and it was just like the shadow of the Six-Day War, and Israel won again after a lot of trouble and ceded the Sinai Desert and entered into an era of friendship with Egypt. In 1978, Israel and Syria fought for control over Lebanon, and Israel clinched a win only to give birth to Hezbollah. Presently, Israel has been known to secretly conduct medical treatment to ISIS fighters in Lebanon, and it is for the sole purpose of eradicating Hezbollah, and the situation in the Middle East is not gonna get better anytime soon. So hey guys, these videos take about 90 hours or more to produce, so guys, it will be very much appreciated if you could leave a like on my videos and subscribe to my channel for more content guys, and feel free to email me in the email address provided down below. Stay tuned.